This conference will now be recorded.
I see some new joinees now. Like I request again, whoever has joined now, could you please um, ping your name and contact details in the chat? You can send a private message to me. This is for the further communication. Any documents related to Azure and all, we will be sending through this contact information. Thank you. So coming back to our discussion, so the trend in the market is cloud. That is after this boom, most of the newbies are moving towards the cloud technology only, and especially on the Azure. Like you can very well check nowadays, people are started searching for a job. So if you go and look it in the market, you can see a lot of job opportunity related to Azure. So either they will ask a multi-cloud or specifically they are looking for the Azure cloud in the market. The main reason for such thing is the scope, the whatever information Azure is providing, the investment Microsoft is doing towards this is really recommendable. So that is the reason we sense that a lot of things are happening in the Azure perspective, and lot of informations people are gathering towards this cloud technology and all in terms of Azure. So you can take any module. Madan, I can you unmute. If you have any question, you can unmute yourself. If you have any question, yes, you can raise a hand. Yeah, thank you. So, lot of investment Microsoft is doing, especially on the AI side, machine learning. That is the another important topic in the market. Like people are saying that the next gen would be the AI only. So cloud and AI together is playing a vital role in the market. So Microsoft is investing a lot of things in the AI technology side in terms of cognitive services, in terms of your all your machine learning and all. It is automating a lot of things. That is the reason people are opting for this service. So again, if you are planning to get into the concept of this Azure DevOps services, the main thing what we observed here is automation. Okay, so everybody are interested in some concept, especially in terms of this Azure understanding how things are all going and all. People are aware to an extent, but DevOps is the one which is requested by the most of the organization because automation is the mantra in the market now. So people can do the cloud concept to an extent, but they want to do most of the things through the automation only, right? So DevOps is the one. It is not only for the cloud, even from the on premises this concept is there, so it make the work easy. So in terms of automation, not only related to the automation in terms of improving your process, we are all moving into the like agile. Almost most of the companies started using. Here and there some companies are still following the whole standard, but even that company, they're very eager to move towards the agile format. That is, they don't want to really wait for 3 months or 6 months for the new change to be available in the website. So immediately they want all the things to be reflected, means agile is the one they are following. So when you're moving towards this agile format, then obviously DevOps is the boon to them. So that is the reason most of the organization, they when they recruit a cloud engineer, when they recruit any cloud related SME, they are asking the additional informations like what is your extra qualifications? Do you know anything from the cloud perspective, automation side, and all? They are asking. So I believe this course would be a supportive things for you to get into the Azure world and also with the automation things. So let's quickly go through this concept. So I see few of them are joined now. So I request for the new joins to this meeting. So who are joined recently, could you please ping me your name and contact details? You can send a private message to me. This is for the further communication we need it. So let's quickly go through the course content. So in this course content, if you look at this, um, we have picked and choose. the famous topic which is relevant to this, the DevOps concept. Especially if you want to perform as a Azure DevOps person, Azure DevOps engineer, what are the things we need? So that we have added here. So let me introduce myself. I'm UV. I'm Azure architect. I'm in this field for more than 17 years in the IT field, and almost like more than a decade I have experience in cloud. So I'm a multi-cloud architect. So I worked on private clouds, public clouds, and I worked on multiple project deliverables in terms of migration, solutioning, and consulting part. Also, I'm part of it related to the cloud aspect. And in terms of public cloud, I worked on all three famous public clouds in the market: Azure, AWS, and GCP. And I'm a certified solution architect. I'm a certified data engineer. So I work in my day-to-day activity like everything is related to the cloud only. So DevOps is the one which we usually use like throughout the journey of our any migration plan. Any automation is needed means like we really depend upon the DevOps. Any new program recently we worked on, the main role would be the DevOps. So the requirement would be like there will be a separate role for a DevOps engineer. So if you design a team, obviously we will have some architects, some infra admin and all. Along with that, predominantly all the organization they are expecting this particular role, that is DevOps engineer, because they want to automate the things. The main reason behind this is reusability. So if you are comfortable with this DevOps process, then you can have a smooth journey. So you have a specific strict timelines and all in terms of your cloud migration. So in that cases, we are preferring lot on this uh, activity. Yeah. So now let's look into the aspect that is let's see the course content. So we have designed the course content by keeping one important thing, that is what is famous in the market. We have taken all the topics which is relevant to this particular one. Okay, so whichever it is hot topic in the market, whichever we need in the market, we picked and choose. Like it's not like in sake of some content we have added. We did a market analysis and we got the same thing. So whatever it is famous in the market, we have taken this and that topics we have picked and choose and added it here. Okay, so we are concentrating on the topics which is needed for a DevOps person, Azure DevOps person. That is when you want to join as a Azure DevOps person, what are the things you need? So those are the things we have added here. So if you look at this, we have organized this in such a way that it is having the important things. And just give me a minute. Let me share the screen.
Hello. Hello.
Is there any question?
No, sorry, we were not able to hear you. Means, were you speaking?
Okay. Is it audible now?
Yeah, it's audible now. Yeah.
Yeah, let me repeat it. I sent some network issue. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. So I was talking about this course content. So this course content, what we did is we did a market analysis and picked and choose the topic which is really in need of the hour, like whatever it is needed for us in the day-to-day activity. So those we have added here. We are not predominantly concentrating only on the certification topics. Along with certifications, there are some topics you need it. Like if you are planning to work as a DevOps engineer, lot of weightage is needed in terms of your CI/CD and the automation aspect. So if I take the automation, that is infrastructure as a code, you should be aware of all the ways to create your infrastructure using the automation. It is not only the ARM template or the PowerShell or CLI, because if you go for this AZ400 certification, they will ask these topics only. But in real time, if you want to function as a DevOps engineer with the infrastructure as a code knowledge, then you should be aware of the Terraform. You should be aware of your GitHub. So those are the knowledge is needed. So deep dive about these things and all done, like whatever it is needed on the AZ400 we will be doing. Along with that, for your regular day-to-day activity as a DevOps engineer role, what is needed, that topic also we have added. Because uh, as myself worked in most of this migration project, I am aware of the concept or the skill set is needed. Those skill set we have added here. So it is not only for a regular certification clearance. What is needed apart from the certification topics also we have added, because if you complete this course, when you get placed into an organization or you already working as a cloud engineer and you want to move yourself as a DevOps engineer, means you should know some basic skills. You should some skills in depth. So those and all we are going to cover, because you have to play a vital role in your project, in your cloud project. It can be a migration project or it can be the maintenance project, because nowadays most of the organization are insisting you to create the application or to create the project environment infrastructure, everything through the automation only. So there are a lot of restriction they are bringing in, or policies they are bringing in terms of the regular aspect. Okay, so those are the things we have covered here. So there are the basic pillars in terms of the DevOps. So first we will be making you comfortable with what is DevOps, because DevOps is not something which is common only for Azure. DevOps is a topic which is a generic one. Even in your on premises you have the DevOps topics. So this is development plus operations, you will have it in your on premises also. You have this topic in the Azure, AWS and GCP. All three public cloud providers are having this concept. So first we will do a clear introduction about DevOps. What is DevOps? Why we need DevOps? What are the things which is revolving around in the market related to this DevOps? So we will have a clear understanding about this process. So whatever you will be learning in the first few days related to the DevOps, the same concept will be applicable wherever you are going to use it in your future also. It can be a on-premises DevOps or it can be the cloud DevOps. Again, in the cloud DevOps, it can be Azure DevOps or the other competitors also. So the concept will be very clear, because once you're comfortable with the concept of DevOps only, then the further discussions will be easy for you to understand. So we will have a clear understanding about the DevOps concept in your real time. Because DevOps means it is not only the automation, it is the people related aspect, it is a process. So you have to follow some process. By using some people, you will be delivering something on time. So we'll be discussing those things in details in the first introduction session. Following that, how you can use a Azure DevOps. So far in the first session I'll be explaining about the DevOps concept. Then what is the topics related to Azure DevOps? Because Azure DevOps means, as I told you, everybody has an understanding that DevOps means only CI and CD. No, it's not like that. Your complete project management you can do it in DevOps, starting from your requirement gathering. You can gather your requirement, you can start your development, you can do your testing, you can deploy it, you can have a maintenance phase, you will get a feedback, so it's a complete cycle, right? So all these things can be supported using this Azure DevOps. So first we will be starting with the project management. So this tool is not meant for only one set of role. If you are the project management side, if you are from the project management side, then you will be in need of this Azure boards and all. So first we will be understanding what and all organization concept you will have, what is a project, and what is this teams and all, and what is your Azure board. So Azure board is something you will be using for your resource information gathering, or if you want to have something like agile project, a scrum project, how you can manage your project, how you can capture your requirement, how you can track your development, how you can track your defects and all. Those informations will be covered in the Azure boards. How efficiently you can use Azure board also we will be discussing. So this board is the one a tester will be using, a developer will be using, any project management role people also will be using the Azure boards. And next thing is the repositories. So this Azure repository is mainly related to a developer role. So as a developer, you will be using this on a day in day out activity. So how you can manage your code, what are the best practices you can follow, how efficiently you can keep your code backup, those things and all we will be discussing here. And once this repos are covered. So in the repo, we won't be covering only the Azure repo part. I'll be covering the Git related, because that is the famous version tool in the market. So widely used in the market nowadays by all the developers. So we will be doing a deep dive on the Git. So how you can use a Git, like Git not only as a UI tool, how you can use it in a different way from your editor. If you're a developer, if you're using Visual Studio Code, how you can use it. If you are a person from the infra side, you are comfortable with some comments alone, means how you can use the Git comments, what are the famous Git comments available, what are the frequent Git comments you will be using in a day-to-day activities. If you are a developer, then what are the tool like tortoise Git and all is there, how you can use the tool. So those tools and all, the third party tools and all also will be discussing, because anything would come in your near future. If you place in an organization, you cannot expect that I'm comfortable only with the comments, I'll be using this. No, there are some cases your organization will ask you to use some third party tool. There are some times like you may end up in doing something on the Visual Studio Code editor. So those things and all will be discussing in the Azure repo category. Then next, the important and famous in the DevOps side is your CI/CD. Everybody will look only for this. That is, what is this Azure pipeline? This pipeline itself, I'll be dividing into two different parts. That is, the first part would be your integration related aspect. The second thing will be your release pipelines. So in the integration pipeline, I'll be explaining both the option, that is YAML option and classic editor, because it depends upon your organization reference. Some organization will restrict you to use YAML file only. Some organization will say that classic editor is also okay. So I'll be covering both the aspect, because you should be aware of both the aspect for your future works. So pipeline will be covered. And in terms of my release pipelines, I'll be explaining you what are the different stages. The expectation from any student is, I want to know about CI/CD, but CI/CD means what? When you commit your change in your local, it should be compiled, it should be deployed into my dev environment, it should do some basic testing, and it should move to the next environment. That is the expectation, right? So we will be demonstrating that. So as part of my course, it is not only the theoretical one, I'll be covering the demo things also. What are the topics I'm telling you, right? So maybe today only you'll be seeing this Word document, but when my course start, initial few days, one or two times you will see the PowerPoint, but rest of the time we will be working only in the portal screens only, Azure portal or the Azure DevOps portal. So everything on the real time experience only we'll be doing. So I'll be navigating each and every pages, and each and every tags I'll be explaining, like this is the use of this tag, how you can use, where and all you can use. So those things and all we'll be discussing. In the CI/CD we will have the demonstration also, and you will come to know how you can deploy your code in the development environment, and how you can promote the code to the next environment, what is the staging concept, so what is the approval process we will follow, how I can automate the approval, how I can get an email when this particular is completed. So those things we are going to discuss in this flow. Okay, so
Hi, this is just want
yes.
to really say something.
Please tell me,
Thank you.
any
So,
question for me?
I just want to know, like, sure, sure. I just have to, like, just a quick understanding. What is like landing zones for the cloud? For example, with Azure, like, what is the Azure landing zone? What it is actually?
See, this is related to your infrastructure. So, when you are planning for any migration, first thing you have to define your landing zone. You have to have a clear understanding about your infrastructure. What and all I need it in my infrastructure. That is, we will say like 2B environment. The technical term is whatever you have it in your on premises, we call it as access. When you move it to a cloud environment, we call it as 2B. So, in the 2B, what and all you need it, what is the infrastructure, so how many machines I need, what is the network, what is the security. So you have to define your landing zone. Once you have the clear architecture in place, then we will work on the further migration. Okay.
And for that, the ISC mapping is very necessary for that.
Madan, I'm having really hard time in hearing you. uh, More than your voice I can hear a lot of background noise only. Could you please talk
Yeah.
from a silent place, or can you ping me a question so that it will be easy for me to answer?
Like something from a ISC point of view, like using Terraform is very much mandatory when somebody is working for the landing.
Very sorry. Is it only for me or for others also? Can you hear Madan?
So,
If you don't mind, can you please ping me a question, Madan? I can check the chat. Are you pinging? Okay, Pooja, you have a question. So by the time Madan pings it, could you please go ahead? Pooja, please go ahead with your question. I see you raised your hand. No question, Pooja? Don't you have a question? Can I go ahead? Okay, shall I take that you don't have any question, Pooja? Okay, you're pinging. Okay, expertise in IS. Yes, it is added thing, Madan. You need the information about this. Yes, it is an added knowledge. I saw your question. Thank you, Madan. Pinging. Yeah. And Pooja, I think my question is I haven't done any foundation level. Uh, okay. So the request is Pooja, you need to have a basic certification. I would say like we prefer you to do 104. Okay, so if you have the 104 certification or the developer associate, either the infra associate or the developer associate, then you can appear for this AC 400. Okay, it will be good if you go through the foundation, because DevOps is the one you will be implementing on the Azure side, right? So you should have the basic understanding about the Azure, then it will be added advantage for you. Yeah. Okay. So I think no question. I can continue. Yeah, fine. So coming back to this discussion, so pipeline will be discussing. Then in the infrastructure as a code, we'll be covering the ARM template and the PowerShell, Bash, because any of this, if it is a Windows machine or Linux-based machines, you should be aware of all the options. And we will be doing the basic understanding of the Terraform. That is for Terraform, how you can create your infrastructure using the Terraform. We'll be discussing that one. Okay, so these are the topics we'll be covering in terms of the uh, Azure DevOps training. So it is meant for 20 hours. So in this 20 hours, we'll be concentrating more on the Azure DevOps aspect and best practices you have to follow in terms of a Azure DevOps engineer. So those and all also will be shared along with this. So with this, I'm ending my demo introduction. So if you have any question, you can ask me.